Yeah. Kevin has edited enough recordings of me to know my catchphrase very well.
Your catchphrase.
And his catchphrase was hitting that clown nose. And all the kids are wearing it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Justin is the new Alf. And there's kids the world over just like wearing t-shirts of Justin and his famous catchphrase, eating a cat.
Give me that cat.
Justin borrowing his neighbor Carl Winslow. Justin showed up as a child character early on, and then by 6 seasons later, Justin had subsumed the show. This show about a working class black cop in Chicago then became a show about Justin's wacky fucking antics.
It's a rare condition in this day and age.
What if can we just say Family Matters with Alf would have been possibly the best show of all time.
Now,
but
Alf instead of Urkel or Alf instead of Carl Winslow?
No. If Alf was with Carl Winslow.
Or Alf instead of, like, Laura, and then Urkel was really horny for Alf.
Yeah.
And Urkel just really wanted to.
And Alf was not interested in Steve Urkel, but he was very interested in Stefan Urkel.
Right, Alf takes the Stefan Urkel medicine and comes out as like Alphonse, just a suave alien puppet.
Alphonse.
Back on Melmac, Alphonse.
Yeah, Family Matters, a show that famously started out with like a whole cast of family members who all like slowly started disappearing like between seasons. Like grandma leaves and there's an aunt. There's multiple siblings that leave the picture.
There's a baby.
All of them are replaced by Alf.
Yeah.
So all of them are subbed in by Alf between seasons.
Carl Winslow gets replaced by the dinosaur from The Dinosaurs.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I am realizing now that Key and Peele sketch about Urkel being like a psychic monster who torments Carl Winslow was accurate. I'm now realizing that Key and Peele know something. Like those Simpsons and 30 Rock jokes about like Woody Allen and Bill Cosby being perverts before that was public knowledge.
Yeah.
I think Key and Peele knew something about Jaleel and his Firestarter-esque powers.
Jaleel being the original Carrie.
Jaleel was in fact a guy that possessed a car. and he would drive around.
No, Jaleel's actually not his real name. He was actually discovered outside a laboratory in the Midwest in the 80s.
He was Jaleel's on wheels, and he drove around.
The school gymnasium doors lock shut. Everyone inside the gymnasium burns alive. And then Steve Urkel is standing among the wreckage, and he goes, "Did I do that?"
Instead of pig blood they dump on him, it's melted like cheese.
Yeah, it's melted cheese.
Got any cheese?
Yeah, got any cheese, and then the melted cheese pours on him, and it's like, the melted cheese pours on him. He locks all the doors. He sets everyone on fire. They burnt to a crisp. He's laughing. and then, of course, did I do that? And then at the end, what was the name? Laura? That was the girl's name? Laura. She's going to pay her respects at the rubble that was the Family Matters house, and she drops the flowers on the empty lot. And Stefan Urkel's hands reaches out from the rocks and grabs her and pulls her in. It's good times.
Good.
Speaking of
what
good times, let's talk about what psychic entities took over good times.
Dynamite!
The psychic entities were, of course, the Black Panther Party, which stormed into Norman Lear's office, offended by good times. And Norman Lear heard them out and was like, "That's a good idea. I shall create the Jeffersons."
Really?
Yeah, true story. Good times that like the Black Panthers marched into his office and they were like, "This is yet another like completely stereotypical portrayal of poor black people." And Norman Lear was like, "You guys have a valid point. It's time for someone to move on up." It's time And to quote the Jeffersons pilot, "How come we overcame and nobody told me?" Good joke. Anyway,
and then later on, the Amos, who played the dad in Good Times, who requested to be written off the show, he would be in the first reboot of All in the Family. And I can't remember what it's called because it's got a terrible title. It's the title of the show is the address of Archie Bunker's house. But it was a reboot of All in the Family, and it was about an African-American family who was living in Archie Bunker's house. But this time, like...
haunted by the ghost of Archie Bunker?
Yeah, it was an African-American family living in the house, and they had, dumb white neighbors.
Meatheads, listen up.
Meatheads! 704 Hauser, that was the...
Wow, very good.
Yeah.
God.
Archie Bunker's address. You as a child were so disappointed. You kept mailing Archie Bunker. You were like,
Archie, how could you say these things about these people? Don't you know we're all
of your ways, Archie?
Archie.
He never wrote back. Little Vern sitting by the mailbox waiting for Archie Bunker. You're so rude to Meathead. I don't understand.
Hey, Archie, come on. Mike Stivic has got some good ideas. I know he's a little lazy and he's a little slovenly, but you got to hear him out. Come on, Archie, think about what you're doing.
You have different political views, but think of your wife, Archie. She just wants to live a peaceful life.
Archie, you got to be there. You got to show up for your wife whenever she's sexually assaulted while you're working at the bar. Come on, Archie.
Come on, Archie. Come on.
What if someone Riverdale's All in the Family? Like they're all young and hot but they all have the exact same opinions.
Did your brain just hear the word Archie and dissociate?
Young
hot Archie.
Young hot Archie. And he throws someone up against the locker and he's like, "Listen here, meathead." And
I'm gonna go kiss Sammy Davis Jr. There's nothing you can do about it.
You realize what our society has become?
You ever get the feeling you're on automatic pilot? You're going through the motions like waves in the ocean?
That life is a series of brainless notions, and you want to feel something more than empty emotions.
Well, we met two plumbers.
Who had an idea.
They showed us the light.
And the new frontier.
Mario
and Luigi.
They know what's right.
We gotta take a stand and put up a fight.
Well, stop and think this through. It's time to get rid of
you know who. A radical development is taking place.
Iggy.
And Spike will set the pace. Koopa. The party pooper. The pooper scooper.
It's a crying shame. We're playing his game.
He's got us so tame. It really is lame.
We're all so dumb being under his thumb.
Be proud reptilians. We number in the millions.
Look at these Goombas.
Shutting us down.
The rule of force
is the rule of this clown. Koopa. The party pooper.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, the one beat track. The rap with precisely one drum sound.
It is less complex than the default beat that comes out of a kid's electronic keyboard.
Yeah,
it doesn't even have...
It's a very Wesley Willis beat, absolutely.
It's oh shit.
Was that going to be the beat, or is that the temp?
I assume it was a temp track. I have to imagine it was a temp.
Oh yeah.
Even though the editor of this particular fan video messed with the music track to a certain degree. They really changed some stuff around, deleted, say, a Dan Castellaneta, just cut him out of the film entirely. Yeah, exactly.
Which, honestly, for a greater effect.
The dinosaurs.
I guess we should explain,
yes.
20 minutes into this. Y'all, we watched the Mario Brothers movie, but this ain't your mama's Mario Brothers movie.
This
Unless-
ain't
No, but
what
Vern,
Dave-
Unless
surely
your
this
mama
is at least
is,
my daddy's Mario Brothers.
I was gonna say, unless your mama is like Ashley Jankel or whatever the co-director of.
My mom and dad are Annabelle Jankel and Rocky Morton.
Yes, okay.
No, I am their spawn. I am the child.
If you are the offspring of Rocky Morton, Annabelle Jankel, this is in fact your mama's Mario Brothers movie. But if you're the rest of us, we watched the Mario Brothers movie, but we watched a here until recently unknown director's cut, the Morton Jankel cut of the movie. That sounds like a fake name, and that's because it is a fake
Hashtag
name.
release the Morton Jankel cut.
Hashtag release the Morton. Morton Jankel sounds like the fake producer name that Red Letter Media always uses anytime they make a fake movie. But it's the last names of the two directors of the original Mario Brothers movie, and this is their version of the film before it was. It's kind of their version of the film before it was presented to Disney.
All right, well, allow me to
But
clarify real
Yes.
quick. This isn't technically a director's cut. This was discovered by two ardent Super Mario Brothers film fans who discovered this tape and then hired one Garrett Gilchrist.
Speaking of Red Letter Media,
Garrett Gilchrist. It's either Gilchrist or Christ or however. Sorry, Garrett. Who's known for doing restorations, most notably for restoring as close as he could to a original artist's vision of The Thief and the Cobbler.
yes.
Oh, same guy. So
Same guy.
In the fan restoration edit community, I mean, you got fucking Picasso.
Mhm.
You got the fucking Martin Scorsese of restoring lost footage.
He worked on The Thief and the Cobbler Recobbled. I heard, I don't know if the project ever got finished, but he was going through and recreating the episodes of Doctor Who that got wiped from the BBC tape library when they would reuse tapes. He, of course, worked on Gorilla Interrupted, one of the first feature films by the Red Letter Media guys. And the Red Letter Media guys let him go because he was doing jokes that have both setups and punchlines, and that didn't quite
Which
work
they are
out,
not
but-
fans of. They,
No.
they hate that over there. Either or.
And so he's done a re-mushroomed cut of the Mario Brothers movie.
He gave it an extra life. He got a one.
there we go.
That's true. This is the one-up edit.
The one up at it, yes.
That's very good. Very good. It flows off the tongue a little bit better than the Morton Jankel cut.
Morton Jankel, a discounted ambassador character from Futurama.
Morton Jankel, like you half heard a kid's rhyme about a guy whose name is your name too.
Yeah.
Morton Jankel Jingleheimer Schmidt. And we are covering, I think, perhaps the platonic ideal of subject matter for this particular podcast.
One of the proto movies for babies was us talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and at the end of that discussion, we started comparing that movie to this movie that we're doing now. So it's weirdly come a full circle.
Yeah, it feels, but we're not going to stop here.
No.
We've certainly finished a level.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We finished. So if you think of Sonic as World 1-1, we are now on World 1-13 or something, and we will now move on to World 2, where it's like sand themes or whatever, where we'll watch Prince of Persia, I guess.
That's right. The next 12 movies we're going to do are all desert-themed movies, and then we're going to do water-themed movies.
We're gonna watch one movie that's exceptionally wet, and then one that is unbearably dry.
Yeah, we're gonna do chemical-themed movies, which that's all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I guess.
We're gonna have a lava movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Ghost themed.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. Everyone tune in. Okay, so let's talk about the Super Mario Brothers film. One of the most publicly sort of shit on movies since it has come out. Before it even came out, it was kind of one of those like dead in the water. Everyone knew that they were like, that one version of the movie had been shot, and then they brought in the Ed Solomon, who's a great writer in his own right, to like write a kid's version of it because he had just written like Bill and Ted, so he was like fucking handing over pages, and they were just like shoving kid shit in there, but they couldn't afford to take out all the like BDSM costumes and the grim dystopia set they had constructed.
Yeah, it was hard to walk away from the cyberpunk vision of Mario. Something that, surprisingly, that they thought to do instead of just waiting for Reddit to invent it first.
Right, absolutely. It's amazing that they, like, predicted a subgenre of DeviantArt before it had ever, before it was a twinkle in anyone's eye.
Well,
and I will say, as someone that has seen this movie, several times throughout my life, both as a child. Previous to this, the last time would have been like freshman year at college, so like 10 years ago. Everyone's wrong about this movie.
This
movie
I would
rules.
say this movie, what made this movie part of the like bad movie canon is kind of the proliferation of the internet.
Yeah.
Where,
Absolutely.
the most humorless, artless people in the world all got together on forums to like look at movies that are not bad, but just colloquially weird. Turned their nose up at saying, it's not like the game.
Which, like, I'm sorry. Listen, I enjoy a Mario game from time to time. I got a little Super Mario 3D, game queued up on my Switch. I enjoy a Mario. They didn't ruin some dense, beautiful canon.
There's no canon to disrupt.
It's Mario, guys. Everyone that wants Pixar to do the Mario movie is a fool. Because, like, the Minions people should be the people that make the Mario movie. He jumps around, it's colorful, you make the Goombas the new Minions or whatever the fuck. Done. It's not a dense lore property that someone shit all over. I love that for some reason the two people who made Max Headroom could walk into a movie studio and say, "Can we build these sets for the Mario movie?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure. Fuck, I don't care." Dude, I love that. That's fucking great.
They said, well, the thing, they made Mario the most 90s looking movie I'd ever seen.
Like before or after. Like it nails the 90s aesthetic in 93. Yeah.
Yeah, before the 90s aesthetic had like truly come to exist. Like Kurt Cobain is taking over the airwaves and Super Mario Bros is dominating in cinemas. And like it did not dominate in cinemas. That was don't hear me out here. A colossal bomb. The truly perhaps the only movie we've talked about so far that was a fucking career ender. This is, like, Morton Jenkel had not really done anything up to this point besides, like, Max Headroom. They direct this movie in 1993. They
did music
reviled.
videos too, correct?
Yeah, they did do music videos before this, which shows. And this movie is such a critical and commercial bomb. Jenkel does not direct another movie until 2018. That's 25 years. And Rocky Morton has never directed another movie. This is a career ender. This is Ender's fucking game. All right, it's over. Scorched Earth, motherfucker. It's completely it's disastrous. How much it just completely tanks these people's careers. Perhaps, they've been like, how Carrie Fisher wasn't in movies for a long time, but she was secretly doing script rewrites on every movie in Hollywood. Like, I don't know if they had something like that worked out, but this fucked them forever. But listen, perhaps it's just because, we've been locked up for a while. I've been watching a lot of movies, and I'm at a point where, like, I'm really not thrilled with most blockbuster fare, that's coming out, most big studio IP movies that are coming out, that, like, movies today that are bad in the most boring way possible.
Precisely.
They are
Yes.
bad because they spend half their time setting up other movies. They're bad because they're just awash in shitty CGI.
Mm-hmm.
This movie,
Or they're made to be translated into every language that exists on Earth.
right? Movies today are bad because they can't say or do anything that might be offensive to any country on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Because
And-
God forbid we offend the Saudi royal family.
Right, exactly. It's like movies today are bad in the same way that WWE is bad, you know?
Yes.
And movies, this movie is, okay, nobody gives a shit about, like, the story of this movie, but this movie has fucking unbelievable set construction for Dino York, or whatever the fuck it's called. This movie
Dino
has-
Manhattan.
Thank you, sorry. Dino Hatton. It has incredible fucking campy costume design. It has great fucking creature effects with, like, the weird Goombas that are huge with microscopic heads.
Kind of piggybacking off what Kevin said just a second ago, like, this movie was, for the longest time, like, the punchline bad movie.
Yeah.
This, like, replaced, like, Ishtar as, like, the punchline bad movie for a long time.
Another movie that does not deserve its bad movie review.
Yeah, or like Howard the Duck.
Yeah, this was a punchline bad movie, but, like, piggybacking off something Kevin said, like, a lot of movies nowadays, they are bad in that, like, a lot of movies nowadays, they go through and they take personality quizzes and they answer neutral, not applicable to every single question. This movie does the extremes very much agree, very much disagree on every single question. And so, like, you get a definitive statement with this movie. Now, the problem, maybe, is that, like, this is the first time a video game's ever been adapted, and so it's like, well, what the fuck do you do? And you have to fill in a lot of blanks.
Right, and this was before video games were The Last of Us, where you're
Yes.
like, I understand how that could be a show. I get how that could be turned into a show.
This is before video games were popular, but they weren't really legitimately viewed as art.
The only attempt that has been made prior was The Wizard, and that was a movie about video games as opposed to...
That was a commercial for Super Mario Brothers 3.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Morton and Jankel, like, they're like, okay, well, we've got to fill in a lot of blanks. And not only did they fill in these blanks, like, they kind of mad-libs the blanks. They put in adjectives and adverbs. They went all in on these blanks. It's just that, like, maybe they filled in too much material. Maybe,
Yeah, no, that's
maybe
what
they
makes
whited
this
out.
such a fascinating work as an adaptation, is that it takes all the primary components for, like, almost a decade's worth of games
Yes.
and finds a place for almost all of them.
Yeah.
But while also providing new new contexts. Like, if Super Mario Brothers existed as this movie existed after a more faithful adaptation had been made, I think this movie would be a lot more respected for doing very fresh, wild takes.
It takes a bold personality, and it takes a underlined, bold, emphasized decision maker to say, you know what? Koopa, the antagonist of these things, he's a germaphobe. And it take that from, like, an 8-bit sprite.
No, not even Koopa is a germaphobe. Koopa, you know what Koopa is? He's Donald Trump,
Yeah, yes.
who is a real-life germaphobe.
And some of the things that they do work. Like, Koopa in this is great. I'm not so crazy about, Rockabilly Steven Crowder as Toad, but...
Excuse me, Mojo Nixon. American rockabilly, also known for genres such as psychobilly and cowpunk. Serious
excuse me.
satellite radio host Mojo Nixon put some respect
He looks like
On
Steven
the-
Crowder.
He does look like Steven
He
Crowder.
looks
Indisputably,
exactly
he looks
like Steven Crowder.
He looks like Steven Crowder.
Well, no, especially after his devolution.
Especially when he gets a devolution and the little Goomba head is chiefing cigars and is in the hospital every 2 weeks now.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
one point-
going for another heart and lung surgery.
His lungs are just full of ash.
Yeah, he meets the Mario Brothers, he starts playing a song for them, and then all of a sudden Sam Cedar shows up, and they all get
And he
thrown
runs. Toad is out.
out.
Yeah.
By
great.
God, is that Sam Cena's music?
Oh my God! They cut Mojo Nixon in half.
My God, my God.
My
But
God, it's fucking incredible.
This was something I noticed last night when I was watching the movie. Just like Dennis Hopper, he gives this role socks. For someone
Love
who did
it.
not want to be in this, he gave this role socks, and he's always. I just noticed this last night. Like he never moves his arms beyond like the elbow. He T-Rexes his arms for the whole movie.
Oh,
Chef's kiss.
Dennis.
I love
this
it.
this is Dennis Hopper's like flop period because this is also Waterworld era Dennis Hopper.
Yes.
Another movie that again has been completely shit on for 30 years, and everyone's wrong about that movie. Also rules. Waterworld stands. Let me hear you. He's fucking great. Can Dennis Hopper be bad? Is he one of those guys who's like Tommy Lee Jones, where even if Tommy Lee Jones doesn't care, you're like, you're still good in this movie, dude. I don't know how you did it.
He's the best part of every movie he's in. Whether
I
it's a
think
good
so.
movie or a bad movie, he's the best part of every movie he's in, absolutely.
I think so. And this is good. I don't know. This movie, it was the first live action video game adaptation. This movie held the best video game movie crown for a long time. And I understand that that's not a particularly fierce competition, but I like this movie more than any Resident Evil movie. I like this movie more than Alone in the Dark, Prince of
Better than
Persia,
Prince of
with
Persia.
Jake Gyllenhaal as the Prince of Persia.
famous Iranian man, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal. And honestly, until less than a month ago, I would have still said this was the best video game movie, better than Sonic the Hedgehog. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. And it was only unseated for me a few weeks ago when I saw Werewolves Within, the new Sam Richardson comedy, and that movie whips ass. That movie's so fucking good.
I don't know of a video game adaptation movie that I've seen that I do like better than this one.
There are a lot of like animated Final Fantasy movies I've never
And
bothered
they're
with.
all bad.
Oh,
There's
really?
like a Street Fighter movie, technically.
Oh, that is true.
No, actually,
Julia,
two.
yeah.
Actually, not true. There are like 3 different
There
ones.
are a
One's
couple,
one that's like live action but with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Great.
There's a couple.
There's one with Kristen Kruk from Smallville.
There's one that's I saw in theaters, and it was a wonderful movie-going experience. It was
What, Chun-Li?
Street Fighter Rise of Chun-Li, and the entire theater all turned against that movie at the exact same time. And it became like riff tracks. And it was so
that's great.
funny. We had a blast watching that movie. Has one of the greatest lines in cinema ever, which is M. Bison. He says to Chun-Li's father, he says, "You were the milk of this company, but even milk has an expiration date." And then he snaps the guy's neck. I don't know if it's a better movie than Mario. It's not a better movie than the Mario Brothers movie. It's very entertaining.
It's probably a better movie than Mortal Kombat or Rampage.
Oh yeah, there were 3 Mortal Kombat movies.
Yeah,
Some of
there's
those
one-
are okay.
There's
Some
one
of
that
those
just
are
recently
alright.
came out, right?
That was okay. That was kind of fun. I had a good time watching it. Would I like recommend it or like stand up for it? Not so much. But I had a good time.
But
So there you go.
the one thing though that keeps this movie separate from all the rest of them is like this movie swings for the fences and tries to do something. All those movies try to be the movie version of those video games.
Right.
And, like, they're... Mario Brothers, like, those try to be good video game movies, and I think maybe the reception of Mario Brothers movie received made it so that future video game adaptations, like, they just tried to stay in their lane as much as they can. They didn't want to get too... They didn't want to make... Don't make any brash decisions. We don't want to be a Mario Brothers movie. Let's just stay and make this thing what it is.
Pretty much. Like this movie changed Nintendo's IP policy. That, like, this movie was such a disaster that Nintendo became super protective of how they lend out their franchises to non-Nintendo companies.
Absolutely. There was a great video that dropped on Polygon's YouTube channel today about this movie. Actually, I thought it was very serendipitous. And they really go to the table for this movie as well, and just like how much it got, pulled out of the hands of the directors, how cool like the designs are. I'm like, I don't know, this movie has like taxi cabs that operate on like trolleys, and they have like
their
grinding
bumper car
sparks
rules
at the front.
Yeah, there's this understated, like, read between the lines thing where just like it's kind of like a Mad Max kind of thing where it's like they had to make the world with the things that they had. It kind of, like, so they have cars, but these cars operate the same way as like rail cars do, and none of them have brakes and none of them start. Like, they're on a grid. There's some really interesting, like, world building stuff in it. Maybe stuff that's way too interesting for a Mario Brothers movie, but it's all super, super fascinating. This whole, like, thing of just, like, nature trying to reclaim the world that it's in. Like, there's, like, Werner Herzog is in the DNA of this Mario Brothers movie.
Do we want to do a recap of this?
Yeah. We can start the recap. Absolutely. I absolutely think it does.
Yeah. This movie has shit on its mind, and it has stuff to talk about.
There are thoughts here.
I was just thinking about, like, I think the only video game movie I do like better is probably Detective Pikachu. But
shit, I forgot about that.
That's a more competent movie.
But that's also it's not fair. It's not fair to compare the two, because Detective Pikachu had the benefit of already being a very weird property.
Yes.
For sure. And one that, like, you could be creative with because it's weirdo Pokemon, and one of them is a detective.
It's also like a Pokemon game that did not sell.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, that movie rules. I love Detective Pikachu. I forgot about that in the conversation because Pokemon at this point has kind of just become like more than video game to me, if that makes sense. It's become, this like Lovecraftian Leviathan that sort of exists in all places at all times.
It's become like Christianity.
Horror. Yeah.
Yeah. Pokemon is Christianity, and Pikachu is the Pope. And now Popachu, that's a movie I would also see. The Two Popes. The two
popes and their Ash and Pikachu.
They're just talking about being popes. Okay, shit. I would watch that movie. But let's start our film, shall we? Opens with one of the greatest title cards a movie could possibly open with. Brooklyn, 65 million years ago. Which is very good.
Right up there with what's that movie, like White Diamond versus Black Cobra or whatever, that that where it's like June 6th AD or something, or BC, that weird best of the worst movie, don't mind me. But yeah, 65 million BC, Chef's Kiss. Wonderful.
65 million years ago in Brooklyn. It's very, very funny. And we follow the dinosaurs. Again, in this cut, Homer Simpson's monologue has been cut out of the beginning, where he's like, boy, at one point there were dinosaurs. Because it was 93, so the voice wasn't there yet.
We're watching dinosaurs just speak with Brooklyn accents.
Hey, I'm Dino Winnie.
I'm going extinct over here.
Over here. And they do, because a meteor does indeed strike the Earth.
Yes, in this movie's logic, the meteorite that wiped out all the dinosaurs landed in Brooklyn.
Not only that,
Brooklyn,
but opens
the famous
a
Brooklyn
dimensional rift
Yes.
from which dinosaurs fall in and create, like, cyberpunk Dinotopia.
Yes.
Yes, and it's very strange what exists in Dinotopia and what doesn't. It's very interesting how
wish
parallel it is and how parallel it is not.
If Dinotopia was, 19 hours of this, oh my god, that would have been my favorite thing we've ever talked about on this show.
Yeah, this is where Zippo, the talking British dinosaur, comes
Oh my
from.
god, yeah. Zippo, the British dinosaur, was like wearing, BDSM gear, and yeah. Oh my
Zippo,
God.
the British dinosaur, would be murdered in the street in Dino Hat. Zippo, the fucking dinosaur, would not last 2 fucking minutes in the hard-bitten streets of Dino Hat.
The Mario Brothers movie in an alternate timeline they enter Dino, New York, and see Zippo getting curb stomped by the Big Bertha.
By Big Bertha just getting absolute fucking wrecked. His brains splattered on the pavement like American History X. just absolutely getting fucking wrecked. Is Zippo from Dinotopia. And so we get that great opening, and then of course we get a nice another little cold open here. Everyone loves a movie opening with like a woman and a baby, and she leaves the baby on the steps of a monastery or a nunnery, except at this time it's in like a space pod. Love a nun opening a space pod.
Yes.
We love seeing a nun make the cross as a baby hatches from an egg.
Absolutely.
As Christ watches over through a stained glass window.
'Twas this baby sent to us by, oh, the devil. This is a sinful child.
'Tis a child of the serpent.
That's right.
Literally a
Koopa,
child of the serpent.
Literally a child of the serpent. And the nun opens the pod with a weird rock. Everyone noticed the weird rock. Pay attention. That's going to be important later. Weird rock. My favorite plot device is always baby born with thing. Thing. Most important item in the universe.
And baby never leave thing for like 25 years.
Thing always with baby. It's a real Laetitia kind of scenario we're looking at here. Call back to Lupin the Third, the First.
And baby born with thing that like everyone covets, but no one makes any effort to retrieve until like baby is a full-grown adult and capable of defending themselves.
Until a baby can be a hot leading lady. Until a baby can be played by Samantha Mathis. No one wants to rock.
Mm-hmm. It's that baby is Princess Daisy, which is
weird choice
because she is the princess of Sahara-Hara's land.
Yeah, Sarasa land. And this movie was released in 1993. Like, well before Daisy had, like, accumulated the scant personality she has now.
Yeah.
Before you could run into her in Mario Kart Double Dash and she would say, "Hi, I'm Daisy." Before that era, before Daisy's time in the sun, she was called Princess Daisy. I guess so she can be with Luigi. Someone at Nintendo must have been like, "No, Peach does not fuck Luigi."
Not even. They just wanted Mario to be in a different land that wasn't the Mushroom Kingdom and just save a different princess.
I see.
And also, Mario has a girlfriend in this movie. He's taking her to WrestleMania. He mentions, and while he's in the desert of Dino, New York, that he's taking his girlfriend. I'm sorry, this is horribly offensive. But it's the only way to paint a picture of Mario's girlfriend and all the other girlfriends except for Daisy that get captured. She's a real, like, New York broad.
She's a real New York. This is a
that is very much Mario's canonical type, though, at least in this movie.
Yeah, he loves a fucking Brooklyn gal. Can I also say, Mario, who looks like Bob Hoskins.
Who looks like Wario.
Who looks like what is pulling it. Daniela or whatever she's a Mario. That's a catch.
Yeah,
You take her to WrestleMania.
Bob Hoskins in this movie is very hot. Like
he's kind of hot,
actually,
right?
He's genuinely he's an attractive man in this film, and it's
Bob
awesome.
Hoskins, who is egg shaped, is pulling in just like every a hot Brooklyn piece of tail. And honestly, I'd love to see it. And I would love a movie about their relationship just to know what's going on there.
She most definitely steps on him. Like, they
100%.
most definitely, like...
He gets stomped.
Yes.
Yeah, Mario
And
is getting
she
fucking
stomps on his
pegged.
balls, and it plays the brick break sound effect
Yeah.
from the first Mario Brothers movie. Or first Mario Brothers game.
I'm not sure if we've made it clear yet to the listener. Some writer or producer had a galaxy-brained movie, mind concept to introduce to the Mario canon. What if he fucked?
What if Mario was fucking laying pipe? What if
Literally
Just
and
non-stop?
What if Mario was fucking fixing someone's pipes?
Literally,
yeah, absolutely. Who again? So we meet Mario, as played by Bob Hoskins, everyone's favorite Italian. Bob
Fresh from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, which is 100% how he lands this. 100%.
He plays Mario, and he also has played Manuel Noriega. Bob Hoskins.
He's played Mario and every British gangster for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And J. Edgar Hoover.
And J. Edgar Hoover.
And Hoover.
And so it's Bob Hoskins, and again, everyone's second favorite Italian, John Leguizamo,
The pest himself.
the very pest Tybalt in Romeo plus Juliet. Although
Sid
that's a few
the
years
Sloth.
later. Yeah, the sloth, Sid the Sloth. Yeah, it's John Leguizamo time. Everyone, buckle the fuck up.
You know, he around the same time that I saw this movie for the first time, I saw his one-man show on HBO. John Leguizamo's Freak, directed by Spike Lee, and I've not seen it since I was 7 years old, maybe, but like at the time, that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my entire life. Like just crying, laughing at this thing. And then I find out he plays Luigi, who was my favorite Mario brother for the longest time in the Mario Brothers movie. And so there was like a 3-month period of my life where just John Leguizamo was just the coolest guy in the universe. Again, I don't know how Freak holds up, but man, I loved that as a kid.
Yeah.
Didn't it win a Tony?
Probably did. Absolutely.
I bet. Yeah. Yeah, he was John Leguizamo up until this point is like an acclaimed like performer and playwright. Yeah. He's an acclaimed like New York staple of the theater scene, being kind of from a Latin background and being able to add that perspective to the city is sort of I don't know if this is reductive to compare them, but sort of a prototypical Lin-Manuel Miranda, like really like this Latin kid from uptown who comes down and suddenly starts owning the theater scene, and then he has a robust film career all his own because he pops. He's very charismatic guy. This is not his greatest role, but he can really sing, and it's great. So these are our Mario brothers.
Yes,
these are the Mario brothers.
Bob Hoskins and
Bob Hoskins, and these brothers, they love each other, but they don't always get along. Luigi, he's a dreamer. He likes conspiracy theories, and
he's a man of faith.
He's a man of faith.
Yes.
He's a real trust the fungus guy. But Mario, he's a trust the pipes. He's like, the pipes will steer us right, sturdy. Metal. If you take care of them, they'll take care of you. He's a real.
This Luigi is very much opposite from the Luigi that we all know, and like this Luigi is not a chicken shit at all. Whereas the Luigi that came up in Mario is afraid of everything. This Luigi believes. This Luigi has faith. This Luigi is not afraid of no ghost. This Luigi would kick Boo's ass if he inherited a mansion. This Luigi believes. This Luigi gets shit done.
Absolutely. This Luigi would not be afraid of no ghost, looking for his goddamn brother in Luigi's mansion. He could handle his shit. He walks into some tough situations in this movie, and he walks out unscathed.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they are plumbers. They're kind of down on their luck, plumbers. There's an entity.
But they get scabbed by the Scapelli Plumbing Company, which is part of a construction conglomerate.
A scene that does not exist in the theatrical cut, as far as I recall, or at least not as extended as we have it here. But yeah, they get scabbed by Scapelli, who is owned by Carlo Rizzi from The Godfather. Gianni Carlo. They get scabbed. They're constantly getting pushed out of work by a media conglomerate. The Mario brothers are the scrappy little underdogs, and because they get screwed by Scapelli out of a job, they're heading back home. The car breaks down, and they meet Princess Daisy,
an archaeologist for NYU, digging dinosaur bones in Brooklyn.
Yeah, NYU's famous archaeology in Brooklyn's famous dinosaur population. John Leguizamo cannot believe that dinosaurs were raised in Brooklyn. I don't know, and he is of course on the phone when he meets Daisy, and he's checking like the company messages, and the message he's listening to is some guy who's like, please bring every plumber you got. I will give you my family fortune. Please, I'll suck your fucking dick if you fix these pipes. Please, I have so much money. And he's like, yeah, Daisy, take the phone. I would honestly, Luigi deserves.
He has doomed the Mario family to poverty.
That perhaps he should be shot.
Yes.
He has doomed them to poverty, and there's some shit he pulls later on that I'm like, no, I think you are actually within your rights to shoot your brother the next time you see him. I think no court in the world would convict you. But yeah, so we meet Princess Daisy. They give her a ride over to the dino,
which is also a
exhibit,
construction site,
which we
owned by Mr. Scapelli, who might as well just be a minor character from The Sopranos.
He might as well be, right? Like this might
He's
as
a minor
well
character
be.
from The Godfather.
Right. So it checks out because The Sopranos uses players from both of those universes very frequently.
Yeah.
From both Godfather and the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Absolutely, because they're, for some reason, I guess because Mario is nominally a Brooklyn plumber, even though it doesn't really factor into his whole deal. They were like, no, we're gonna get.
That was an American pretension.
We're gonna get the real New York actors for this.
You thought the Mario Brothers movie had a car chase. Turns out it has a David chase.
But yeah, they. Yeah, Jenkel and Morton were like, we need some real fucking actors. We need some guys that have tread the boards at the Winter Garden. We need some real fucking actors for Mario. So they bring in all these guys, and quickly we will discover that the excavation site is a portal to another dimension. Of course it is.
As it happens. I work with plumbers. That happens all the time.
But not before Daisy goes on a date with Luigi, Mario, and Mario's famous girlfriend, Daniela.
not even Pauline, Daniela. They're having a real, and it's a real The Dark Knight, a guy that dresses up like a bat clearly has issues, type dinner. And my Mario, he raised me. He was like my mother. And he's like, oh, and he's like, I'm sorry, my father.
Yeah, well, no, my father, my uncle. He's like, it's not clear, but Luigi was adopted by Mario, right?
My understanding is that their parents died, and Luigi is much younger than Mario.
Yes.
So
yes, we know that because not only did Mario inherit his tools from his father, but he also kept his father's plungers mounted on the wall
Like all plumbers do.
in memoriam.
Plumbers, of course, treat their plunger like a holy Arthurian relic. They treat it with the same reverence that Galahad might treat his
Like your
blade.
granddad's gun when he served it in World
And,
War
like
II.
framing your granddad's fucking naval uniform. Or hanging a Robin costume in the Bat Cave. Plumbers, of course, bronze and mount their plungers.
A very romantic profession.
Absolutely notoriously big feeling men with artistic sides.
Every
The
single one of the
Brooklyn
plumbers that I work
Union.
with on a daily basis all have big open hearts. They never just like they never carelessly leave their tools at job sites. That never happens. All the plumbers I work with, there's been so many times where I've been to go film a job and ended up in a portal to another dimension. And
Classic plumber splendor. You ask any plumber and they'll be like, "Oh, the times that I've ended up in another dimension."
Oh, I hate it when they leave their drain snake in the ice zone.
This guy, he left his adjustable wrench. Oh, he left it in Rapture from the BioShock franchise. Oh, this fucking guy.
So after the dinner, Daisy is getting pursued by Iggy and Spike, Bowser's cousins.
Played by incredible, like, dedicated character actors Fisher Stevens and Richard Edson. Richard Edson is in, like, fucking Do the Right Thing, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Fisher Stevens, Academy Award nominee or winner. But all perhaps.
But this is certainly a pre-brown face, Richard Stevens.
Yes,
Fisher
Fisher
Stevens.
Stevens. Yeah, this is before Short Circuit 2, or what have you. Definitely.
And Short Circuit 1.
Definitely before his appearance as Minkowski on Lost. Definitely before that. Anyway.
holy
so,
shit, Richard Edson was in Sonic Youth. I had no idea.
Oh, the band?
Yeah.
That rules.
I had
Oh my god.
Good for him.
no idea. How about
Good for
that?
you, Richard Edson. Richard Edson, he's a guy. He's around all the time. You know him. You've seen him before. I think he's
in a Jim Jarmusch film.
Yeah.
He's in
What?
Platoon. He's in Good Morning Vietnam. What the fuck?
hell yeah,
he's
Richard
in-
Edson.
He's in a Jim Jarmusch film. He's in Good Morning Vietnam. He's in Tougher Than Leather. He's in Do the Right Thing, and then he's in the Mario Brothers movie.
Damn.
Wow.
This movie's insane, folks.
Yeah, this movie's a fucking trip. It of course has 1.9 average on Letterboxd and a 4 out of 10 on IMDb. And it's a great time, everyone. So yeah, Daisy gets pursued by these two Jamooks, who end up sort of flooding the fossil site as an act of sabotage. And
No. It wasn't that. It was the
Scapelli.
it was
Oh, those were the Scapellis.
it was the mooks from Scapelli.
Oh, those were the Scapelli's mooks. I'm sorry.
They
I'm getting my
sabotaged
mooks
the site, so
confused.
Daisy can't dig any more bones there anymore.
Yeah, you can't dig bones if there's water around. Everybody knows that.
But the
But then Luigi calls Mario to fix it, and God bless this movie for all but snapping its own neck to keep plumbing as a plot device in
runner.
this inside.
Their status as plumbers is key to their being able to do anything in this movie.
yes, the Scapellis sabotage the job site, but then the Koopa cousins, not to be confused with the Koopa kids, take advantage of this
Vulcan skull take Daisy and hop to through a wall into another dimension.
They're kind of painted as like dumb henchmen, but like you see all the women they have kidnapped prior, and like the fact that they've gotten all these women to this other dimension in this like spooky cave where there's like a 100-foot drop, and they've not killed any of these women accidentally. Like they're not as like completely as incompetent as they're made out to be.
As they seem, right? They've kidnapped a lot of Brooklyn dimes, you know? Just
Yeah,
a lot
and they keep kidnapping
A lot of babes.
They keep kidnapping the exact same type of woman, and so
who is nothing like Daisy.
nothing like
Daisy. And it kind of just makes you wonder if they're just like
they just wanted a babe stash. If they
they
just wanted the discreet babe cave. Yeah, I understand.
They have a type.
Collectively, they have a babe cave, and it's a place to be. And so Luigi bravely charges into another dimension.
The Babe Cave is a little place where we can get together. It's Babe Cave.
Oh man, I would love a Hanna-Barbera cartoon called Babe Cave. And it so they hop to another dimension, and this place is no good.
This place is as a child, this place was a nightmare.
As
an adult, like, well, it still is a nightmare. Someone gets like mugged, like there's muggings happen left and right. As an adult, I can appreciate the production design, but as a kid who grew up in the Midwest and heard so much from like the adults in my life, how like the cities are a place of or a haven of sin and filth, like this Dino New York felt to me like what New York was described to me as.
This is what hell
what
must
New York
be.
is still described
Yes.
as.
Yeah, New York is the New York of the 70s never died in
This is
Dino
this is a pre-Giuliani New York. This Dino New York.
Right.
This is...
Before Giuliani went up to the toilet and flushed all the crime to just like the other place, he's like, it's your problem now.
Yes.
And
Yeah. Well, no. This is before Giuliani bought every homeless person a bus ticket to California.
Exactly. This is before Giuliani picked up the great quilt of our nation and shook it and fucking flung all the homeless people somewhere else. But that is still alive and well in Dino Hatton, where Rudy Giuliani, aka King Koopa, is still in charge. And we walk into some sort of Koopa dystopia, where like an old lady tries to mug Mario and Luigi on the street, because at this point the movie has taken the Christian theology that the pod opening nuns would believe and fucking chucked it in the trash, because this movie is predicated on evolution and
Yes.
saying, no, we evolved from apes, we evolved from reptiles, and this society that they've entered is a reptile society, so it's nasty.
A reptile society where there might be mammals, but there may be rats, but there are lots of reptiles that they mostly eat.
Well, this is one of the coolest aspects of this movie, I think, is that like the rats are little dinosaurs. It's just like
Yeah.
weird shit like that is going on in this movie, that like they still function as rats, but they're like little dinosaurs with rat tails. It's I don't know, just the weird cool shit that's all
Well, no,
over
but they
it.
also eat them, like, because when they like Mario Brothers pass by like a food cart, and instead of getting a classic New York hot dog, it's just like a bunch of little lizards just folded into a bun.
Koopa
Yeah,
later on when he's ordering a pizza specifically requests for pterodactyl tail to be on the pizza.
No mammal.
No mammal. He does not. He hates mammals. He refers to the visitors as mammals constantly in a way that makes you uncomfortable.
One of the movies that is showing in Dino New York at the cinema is I Was a Teenage Mammal.
Triple X.
Yeah, again,
Oh man, you see that these mammals have these things called nipples? Wild.
70s Times Square is all of Dino Hatton. You know, it's alive and well. You know how now, like, the porn theater that Travis Bickle takes Sybil Shepherd to in Taxi Driver is now the theater where they show Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I'm not even kidding. That
But I watch porn in the M&M store, and suddenly everyone's upset.
I
To be
tried to
fair-
watch porn in Margaritaville and they kicked me out.
And to be fair, the porn that Justin was looking at was Green M&M Rule 34.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But
Well, of course, of course.
Well, of course, it was green, brown M&Ms.
Yeah. Oh, a little mixture. Yeah. So it's great. So yeah, Dino Hatton, nasty place. There they run into Big Bertha. At this point, Luigi has taken hold of Daisy's little meteorite key, because as she was sort of sticking out of the wall, he grabbed it. But then a woman called Big Bertha, who is wearing just red spikes all over her body, takes takes Daisy's meteorite, her little nun meteorite key, and hops away on
it's
Pogo
the only
Boots.
time the movie does
On her
this.
jet
We're like-
boots!
It's like, in this movie, like, Toad is a guy that looks like Steven Crowder.
Love it, but Yoshi
Again,
is a dinosaur.
this is Galaxy Brain filmmaking.
Uh-huh.
Yoshi's still
Yeah.
a dinosaur, yes.
Yoshi's still a dinosaur.
Yoshi's a dinosaur,
But Big
but
Bertha is
Toad is fiction's only monarchist hippie.
He's a hippie that loves kings.
That wants to return to the crown, who wants to, like, yes, it's a dictatorship, but he's also, like, anti-democracy. We have to return to the Daisy bloodline.
Dude, I believe in free love, I believe in equal rights, and I believe in the divine right of kings. I believe that God selected King Bowser as our one true king.
God chose the Mushroom King line.
Yeah. And the city is fucking lousy with fungus, just ropey strings of fungus.
Which is, like, I do love that this movie this movie, instead of just doing, the classic fantasy, toadstools, so cute, ooh ooh. It's like, no, actual fungus is mostly slime and sludge, and it's disgusting.
It's gross. In this movie, it's a orange juice colored web that surrounds the entire city. It's super
that gunks up the network.
Yes. It is super duper duper gross in this movie. And just adding to the filth and the vileness of this universe. Mario Brothers, the game, is very bright and colorful and pretty. In this, it's disgusting and awful and vile. And I like it.
Yeah, this is a real. This movie is, if instead of making like an Undertale movie, they made like a dark, those dark Undertale universe movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they had instead decided to make like that universe into reality.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm forgetting where the plot goes from here. It's about this time that we run into or get a scene with our beloved King Koopa.
Who we meet Koopa proper.
Yes.
Yeah, we meet Koopa proper, Dennis Hopper, who they have taken his hair and gelled it into like 7 discrete frills. They have given him effectively
like they're crests,
like cornrows, but they are like waves. And it's a very interesting hairstyle, but I sort of appreciate it as, okay, you were going for a reptilian thing, but you don't want to fucking put like makeup all over.
Well,
Dennis
no,
Hopper.
it's Trump hair.
It is
like
Trump
I cannot
hair.
overstate enough. Like,
It's Trump hair.
It's Trump. It's just like, no wonder he fucking won. He's ubiquitous in American culture for 30 years.
Right, and he's like, it's so fucking bizarre that like a guy who was constant shorthand for evil businessman then became the president of the United States.
And a guy who is shorthand for evil's businessman speaking of WrestleMania, can be seen with a convicted mobster in the front row of WrestleMania 3 or WrestleMania 4.
Okay, that's just because Trump would, brag about how close he was to the mafia, which just shows how little he actually was involved with the mafia.
Right, because if you're really involved with the mafia, you don't fucking brag about it in public, you idiot.
This guy who is synonymous with crime is going to drain the swamp. You know who's going to stop all these murders? Jason Voorhees.
It takes a murderer to stop a murderer. You know, Freddy versus Jason. Whoever
Can we
wins,
get John
we
Wayne
win.
Gacy on the case?
Some fucking horrible alternate history where, like, Ed Gein becomes, like, a Will Graham figure. And he's...
They go to give President John Wayne Gacy their baby instead of kissing them. He just takes a bite out of their soft spot. And,
Like an apple.
Yes.
My God, these are crimes that I've never seen. Mankind has never stooped to such depravity. Get me Charles Manson. Hey, you guys got a crime to solve?
What's skipping Daddy-O's?
I mean, if in
It's
this
all in the
universe,
family,
the
baby.
Beach Boys are still America's band, just in a different
In a different
capacity.
way. In a different capacity.
A different
Yeah,
iteration.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's instead of Mike Love and John Stamos, it's Mike Love and Charles Manson.
Oh, fuck me. So yes, we get our first glimpse of King Koopa, who hates mammals. He hates how dirty his city is. But like, you're the king, so like, I feel like it's your fault.
He's
You can
putting
fix-
his hands in this bath that like eats away the bacteria, but also like surrounds his hands in this weird like silicone gel thing. I don't know.
Film?
He's a germaphobe, but also he likes taking mud baths.
Well, he likes it because it's clean and dirty. It's clean and dirty at the same time. And he also is joined by his you know, all these movies have to have like a sexy lady to accompany her bad guy. We of course have Lena, as played by Fiona Shaw, who most of we uncultured Americans would know as Petunia Dursley from the Harry Potter film franchise.
But who is like everyone,
Great.
acting her fucking heart
She's
out
fucking
because she
good.
keeps doing these like reptilian like neck shakes
Yeah.
and like snaps.
And Justin, you made me think of something. If you interview everyone who's worked on this movie, they all talk about how horrible of an experience it was and how much they regret it, but they are all giving their role sucks. They are trying, they're acting like, maybe it's just like, it's a thing where they're fighting against a bad movie, they think, but like, they are all, like, even Bob Hoskins, after he breaks his fucking hand in a car door, like,
After
he's
he
still-
hates the movie so
and
much
also
that...
refuses to do any filming sober.
Yes, exactly. He's horribly drunk the entire time. I believe they crashed a car because he was so drunk, if I remember that apocryphal story. And it's wild. And but also everyone's good. I don't know how to explain it.
They're all I don't know, like maybe it's just that like that Evil Dead Bruce Campbell mentality where it's like they're thinking hard to make, easy to watch. I don't know, but like they're all trying so hard for a movie that none of them seem to care about. It's even like Bob Hoskins drunk, like he doesn't appear drunk, like he's playing the role. I don't know. It's
I absolutely believe that Mario would drag down the moon for his little brother.
absolutely yes.
100%.
They feel like brothers, but they feel beyond brothers. They feel that weird, like they feel like partners. They say at one point like Mario is a master plumber, but Luigi's an apprentice. Like there is a bond there, and it feels real. It all feels real, despite them being in a thing they all fucking allegedly hated.
It's electric.
It's a
just like the
thing.
cars.
Yeah, it's like the cars.
Just like the cars.
But
Your heart's
yes.
on a
And
grid.
especially like the cop cars, which come complete with with bulldozer catchers that say police across them.
So that they can just bowl over every car and person in their way in pursuit of crime.
And I think it's at this point in the plot where the Mario Brothers get arrested with like Toad.
Toad starts playing a song that's anti-Koopa, and in a movie's
But also anti-pollution.
anti-pollution.
Because it's the 90s and people are finally starting to recognize that might be a problem.
And of course, they act on that problem, and we're not approaching the heat death of the universe within our lifetimes.
And of course, Koopa didn't know that it'd be an issue 20 years before and just bury the data.
No, not at all. But yeah, they get arrested in a Movies for Babies staple. They encounter bad cops. They get arrested. The Morton Jankel cut that we watched does the Mario joke twice. That's the one of the few things the theatrical cut has over this is like, it's when they're getting booked by the police where it does that, like, oh, we're the Mario Brothers. My name is Mario. My brother's name is Luigi Mario. That joke works well that first time, and having a prelude to that joke does not work. But anyway.
Yeah, back to jail where they're shoved in kennels stacked like 3 high. It's very good. I love this. Like, I don't know, it's very
on the nose.
It is very on the nose, but it's also like, I don't know, that's
very
cool.
Biden's America.
It's it's fitting that it's like kennels, and
Mario's
very fitting that
cages.
it's like because they're like mammals. It's like a big the dog pound.
Yeah.
They're painted as being like, just animals. And in this reptile society, they are.
Think about it.
In
a world of reptiles, humans are the lizards.
Makes you wonder who the real cannibals are,
Makes you think.
Makes you think.
And it's at this point that they meet Koopa, who pretends to be their lawyer for 30 seconds, and then just isn't.
Yeah. It's a bad ruse.
Dennis Hopper is no Koopa is no Ernest P. Worrell. He's no like.
Well, Koopa does show up as Auntie Nelda later. when Koopa tries to show up and is like, I'm Auntie Nelda.
When Koopa shows up in a neck brace and a dress.
Why don't you give Granny a kiss? Yeah, it's good stuff. He wants the stone, but they don't have the stone. Love a movie where it's like, where's the thing? I don't know where the thing is.
I don't got the thing. Things with the babe. We gotta get to that babe later. But first, we have to show our de-evolution machine.
Yes, so they take Steven Crowder and they put him in a little chair, and the little chair goes up into a little, I don't know, like a cerebro apparatus. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
They remove the facts and logic from his brain, and it turns him into a reptile. As he cries futilely to bait me, bro,
he gets shoved up into, he's like, I am not a reptile, change my mind. And they shove him
They literally change his mind. They literally change his mind. He says, I am not a reptile, change my mind, and they say, okay, and they stuff him in a machine that changes his mind. Oh my fucking god.
Shove his ass up into the machine, and we get like some real Max Headroom shit. His head gets like bigger and smaller, and then he comes out, and he's on like an 8-foot, like he's on the Great Khali's body in a big red,
like an apple-sized head.
Yes, they've like a lemon-sized like dinosaur head.
It's imagine a Big Bird puppet, but like the head is not proportioned to the body.
But the head is, they've got
no. Imagine someone doing a William Tell routine, but they're covered in a blanket, but they put the apple on top. Yeah. That's what Goombas look like.
Goomba. Goomba, the little guy who is a mushroom with feet. No, actually, they're 8-foot lizard behemoths with tiny heads. And they give Toad back his harmonica, and he walks around with a harmonica the whole.
Yeah, just tooting. He's just tooting. He just loves the rest of the film.
He toots. He loves to toot, and they do not fix him.
No.
He stays that way for the rest of the.
We decided we like Toad better this way.
Yeah,
and,
we can.
Yep, it's how it was meant to be.
It's more video game accurate that he's an 8-foot behemoth.
Yes, Toad, a character known for his small head
and giant body. And so Toad gets shrunkenized, and later we will see that the machine can also evolve you.
What they did, they put the Koopa cousins in there, and they took the facts and logic out of Steven Crowder's brain, and they put it in the Koopa cousins' brain.
They put him in the Koopa cousins.
but that's the secret, is that the facts and logic that do exist in Steven Crowder's brain turn the Koopa cousins into communists?
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, that's what happens when this is your brain. And it shows Steven Crowder's like lung-addled, fucking smoke-filled brain.
His tobacco-infused skull.
And this is your brain on facts and logic, and it's communism. I don't know what to tell you.
With the exception of like the communist bent, like they are what dumb people think a smart person is, where they just use a bunch of big words,
big vocabulary words.
They get turned from like Steven Crowder to Ben Shapiro, essentially.
Why would anyone build a structure on shifting sands land? It doesn't make structural sense. The sand is always moving. You're gonna fall in.
Are you telling me that this land is wet and dry?
There's a world that's both wet and dry. What is she, my wife? Excuse me?
Wet and dry ass pussy.
Wet and dry ass pussy land. And depending on where you jump, how high you jump into the album track list is how wet or dry it is. Yeah, it's a Mario 64 joke. Anyway.
Anyway, there's a stupid scene where the Mario Brothers get away from the cops and get lost in the desert. And then the Koopa cousins get smart and then try to find the brothers.
Something about the American government trying to ban TikTok clock. Sorry, I was trying to...
Whoa. TikTok clock is feeding your data. Is the Chinese have built TikTok clock. And I'm sorry, more and more people are saying we have to tear down TikTok clock.
And then, July 1st comes and they
the Mushroom Kingdom, they're not
Rainbow
sending their
Ride
best.
Into just Ride.
The Koopalings are very fine people.
There's people on Twitter that have a wing cap emoji in their handle. And
Christ. You ever think about how Eric Trump bears a striking resemblance to Bowser Jr.? Anyone else? Fuck. So, yeah, something, Mario's like, trust the pipes, and they drive the car out to Sahara Land. Hashtag trust the pipes. But Luigi's going full Q at this point, where he's like, the fungus is trying to tell us something.
Trust the fungus.
Trust the fungus.
The fungus tells us that Koopa is eating children's adrenochrome.
And at the end of the movie, the fungus turns back into JFK Jr. And
well, King Koopa does order a cheese pizza.
He does. Oh my fucking god.
This episode is impenetrable if you don't know every right-wing scumbag personality.
Someone busts into a pizza place and throws fireballs at everyone. Trying to save the kids. Trying to save the Koopa kids.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't eat the poison mushroom in his cell.
Rosalina was on the flight logs. I don't
the flight logs to Jolly Roger Bay.
Well, no,
Delfino
it's the flight
Island.
log. No.
Isle Delfino.
Yeah. He's got the weird temple house on Delfino Island. Alan Dershowitz has said, "I've never gotten a massage at Isla Delfino."
Matt Groening getting fucking foot rubs all over. Delfino Island. Fuck. Oh god. Flip, they spray everything down. They use flood. They get flood.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Mario.
Mario. Oh my god.
Mario.
Oh, well, okay, so
Petey Piranha gets cut out of the final season of House of Cards.
Oh no. Then fucking 6 months later, Petey Piranha puts out a shaky cam YouTube video where he's like, "Did you miss me? Let me be frank." Fuck me. God damn it. So this is where the Mario Brothers and the Koopa Cousins form an alliance. They realize this is a mutually...
This is where they join forces.
Workers of the world
they're
unite.
throwing a shitty democracy joke.
Yeah.
Because Koopa runs against himself.
So, but you get to vote as long as it's for Koopa.
Yeah.
It's called democracy.
And then they get to the club.
The club. And it's hopping. And they're... You better believe they're fucking...
Oh yeah, where there's like strippers in like xenomorph cosplay.
Uh-huh. And, you know, everyone's getting down to open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Mario attempts to, you know, kind of seduce Big Bertha to get the meteorite stone that she...
Motorboats her at least twice.
Yeah, and like,
Mario
okay.
Mario motorboats a woman's titties twice in this children's movie.
And you know, Mario was like, "Oh, I guess I'll go seduce Big Bertha."
And Bob Hoskins is like, "Oh, I fucked up that take. I gotta do it one more time.
Gotta do it one more time. I gotta do this take one more time.
Oh,
Take 110 apple. Go. So they do a
fucking
little...
Kubrick did.
Oh my god. Morton and Jenkel are just coming from off camera, just like belittling John
Belittling
Leguizamo.
Bob Hoskins.
And they're like, no one give him attention.
He has an emotional breakdown and starts weeping into this woman's breasts.
Hey, Pauline, light of my life. I'm gonna bash your brains in with this hammer.
God almighty.
Oh no! Like they check Bob Hoskins' typewriter, and it's just "It's a me, Mario," over and over and over and over again.
My good God. So they get the rock back, and
God.
Aunt Petunia is there, and she is drinking, like, she takes a tequila shot, but in it is like a living worm who like goes, "No, don't."
That's true. In Dino Hatton, they have mezcal.
They fucking Dino Hatton is a Crystal Skull vodka kind of place.
Dan Aykroyd, I will never expect the Mushroom Kingdom to contact with us, especially after 9/11.
Yeah, it's very funny. I don't know about y'all. Kills my shit every time that as the worlds are merging, the first thing to get wiped off the New York skyline is the Twin Towers.
Well, no, in all fairness, that's one of the towers, that's the tower Koopa lives in.
Yeah, you're right. In Dino New York, he lives in an alternate reality Twin Towers where one is like is partially destroyed. Presumably, whenever someone hijacked a Koopa clown car and flew it into it.
Fire flowers cannot melt steel beams.
Is they
Muhammad Lakitu.
Yeah, Muhammad Lakitu hijacked four of Koopa's airships and
pulls out a spiny and threatens the pilot.
Threatens to blue shell the pilot.
The good news is, 20 years later, they finally pulled the troops out of Bob Bob Battlefield. 20 years after two of Bowser's airships were flown into the Twin Towers and... and
New Dunk City was never the same.
Some of the Mayor Pauline, went on the.
She became America's mayor. She went on SNL and told him it was okay to laugh.
Yeah, she went on the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and told him it's okay to jump on Goombas again. And...
This movie is wild because the film credits end with, "This film is dedicated to the brave ape fighters of Donkey Kong Country."
Very uncomfortable in a later context. And shit. Yeah, so the Mario Brothers get away on rocket boots, and they hide out. They get to Koopa Towers, the North Tower, and they hide out in an elevator where a bunch of Goombas walk in, but the Goombas, they're too tall and stupid to notice that the Mario Brothers are standing there. Has Luigi already gotten his Q drop of a Bob-omb yet?
Yeah. We find out that the fungus is the de-evolved king of Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, the fungus is actually beloved sci-fi character actor Lance Henriksen.
Yes.
Who has just been...
They de-evolved a man.
What if a city was covered in Lance's cum shots, and that's...
They literally shot rope all over the city.
At some point, King Koopa orders some pizza, and you might think, well, that's not gonna come back later. And in the theatrical cut, you'd be right, but don't worry.
In the theatrical cut, it comes back as a joke. But in the Morton Jankel cut, it's got legs. This thing.
Yeah, in the theatrical cut, it's like that scene where Thor takes a bath in Age of Ultron and like sees Thor Ragnarok in like a vision. In this movie, it's like a subplot of King Koopa's pizza. So don't worry, folks. The pizza clock is ticking, and I don't know. They're breaking in. At some point, they're on a bunch of scaffolding, and Luigi's like, "Trust the fungus." And he leaps out into the void, and he's suddenly, like, hanging there in the air. He's like, "Mario, believe in the fungus." And he allows his one and only brother, the man who raised him, to take a running leap into the void, knowing full well in his Luigi brain that this won't work. He allows this to transpire. Because Luigi has hooked himself up to, like, a crane.
He somehow
he hooks himself on a crane that he didn't know.
Yeah, he somehow unknowingly got hooked on just like a random hook in the scaffolding, and he compels his brother to jump and take his own life, but his brother survives when the fungus,
because he lands on some fucking Lance Henriksen that's lying around down there.
In one of the few moments in this movie that like feels like a Mario Brothers game, where like Mario is jumping on a piece of fungus, and it's like, oh yeah, Mario.
Oh right, Mario.
That happened in level 1-3.
Yeah, oh yeah, Mario. Anyway, end of Mario. Because we got to speed on to this techno dystopic nightmare.
Yes, of course.
Right. Meanwhile, Daisy is hanging out with a very well puppeted Yoshi.
Absolutely, that Yoshi.
It's a great puppeted Yoshi, and you expect Yoshi in this movie to pay off like a pizza, and he don't. Yoshi's just there. Yoshi's just chilling. At no point does anyone ride Yoshi. At no point does Yoshi like hit a button with his tail that dumps acid on Koopa or whatever dumb shit.
Whenever Bride of Frankenstein is about to put the rock inside the meteor, he doesn't snatch it away from her with his tongue. Like he's
right. He does not do anything.
No, he uses his tongue once to grab Lena's foot.
That's right. It's Yoshi's just there. He donated enough to the Indiegogo to get an indie walk, a walk on roll. And,
Yoshi got a cameo.
Yeah, they got a Yoshi cameo, and
that's great. And but anyway, Daisy's chilling with the babes. Daisy's in the babe cave.
Yes.
With
no. Daisy is isolated.
Well,
she's hanging with Yoshi. Mario goes to the babe cave.
Oh, that's right. Daisy's not in the babe cave. Daniela is in the babe cave.
Daisy was in the babe cave, but then Bride of Frankenstein pulled her out of the babe cave.
Yes.
and brought her to Yoshi.
God, in this period of the 90s, we fucking loved electricity making your hair all crazy. We thought that was, like, the best thing possible.
Electricity making your hair all crazy and turning you into a skeleton.
Yeah, you get electrified, you turn into a skeleton. It's a real, like, every Home Alone sequel energy is occurring here. In our film's climax, as Mario sneaks into the Babe Cave, defeats, a Goomba. Luigi goes off to grab, or no, they find Daisy first, and then Daisy's like, "You didn't know Daniela was here?"
Uh-oh.
Your girlfriend?
Your girlfriend? So Mario goes off to save his girlfriend, because that's just the kind of guy he is. And and the gang's all here as we approach our climax, as Mario decides to go mano a mano with King Koopa in the town square. He's got them sort of dead to rights. He gets a bunch of
Koopa is in, like, he's got a Super Nintendo Super Scope, and he's in this, like, piece of construction
The
equipment.
de-evolution gun.
Yeah, he has his duck hunt gun, and he's got the duck hunt gun, and he's gonna put him down. At one point earlier, we did see his face briefly turn into a lizard, and if you thought that was going to come back,
That was after he was kind of suffering from being stuck in the devolution machine.
yeah, very very briefly. And again, if you thought that was going to come back, don't worry, it won't. And so he's got the super scope, and he's got him dead to rights. Mario kind of takes him on mano a mano. We get our second, like, bike stunt actor falling off his bike because, like, things are happening. Neither of which were in the theatrical cut. Both get reinserted here. God bless.
Thank God. I was worried about that guy.
I was worried about the bike stunt actor. And so Mario and Koopa's in a big cup. It really does feel very video gamey. He's in a big cup, and Mario has to wait for him to, like, run out of ammo and get distracted and start looking the other way.
It kind of feels like the end of Super Mario World, which was the most recent Mario game to have come out before this one, where, like, Bowser's in the clown car. It's just like Bowser's in this weird levitated thing, and you've got to jump up to get him. It feels video gamey.
Yeah, it does feel, his little spinny cup. And Luigi's in charge of the babes, and he's leading the babes away, and the babes are like, "Wait, who are you?" And he's like, "Luigi Mario." And it's like, hey, listen, lady, I know you're in, like, a tough situation. I would not worry about this man's given Christian name at this particular moment. You need to get out of Dino Hatton.
And we do, for like 60 seconds.
It's
like
amazing.
dimensions merge to temporarily destroy the Twin Towers.
Yeah, the Bride of Frankenstein gets turned into that angel from the episode of The Simpsons where they're building a mall, and they merge dimensions for, again, 60 seconds. Like, you think the fight between Mario and Bowser is over, and it is. But then then Dennis Hopper screams, "We're merging!" Which is also what he says in my fan fiction. And they get ported over to New York, where the Scapellis are waiting by, where Carlo has once again lured Sonny to his death by beating the shit out of Talia Shire. But don't worry, it's very short-lived. They are immediately sent back.
Carlo gets turned into a monkey by
Carlo does get de-evolved into
Al
a monkey,
Neri,
which is better than
Al Neri wraps a cord around Carlo's neck and he turns
Mo
into a
Green
monkey.
gets fucking de-evolved through the glasses.
Yeah.
This is the day when Iggy settles all the family debts.
Someone comes up out of the warp pipe and Peter Clemenza shoots him.
Oh, fuck it.
The film ends with Wendy christening her child while Ludwig, Morton, the other Koopa kids are all getting shot.
Oh my god. Michael returns from abroad, and he and Kay walk down Rainbow Road and discuss, like, the state of their relationship.
This is, of course, all before the sequel where Mario orders Luigi to get killed while he's fishing.
I know it was you, brother. You broke my heart. where Mar. This is of course where Mario and Donkey Kong sell off Cuba and divide it up between the mob and the government.
Luigi's, he's saying his Hail Mary, and all of a sudden there's the coconut gun. It fires some spurts and shoots him, and it's gonna hurt. You hear Luigi like, "Wah!" fall into.
Anyway, they de-evolve Koopa into Ooze. Well, first into a dinosaur puppet from Dinotopia, then Ooze.
And then the pizza man drives by, and he's like, "Here's your fucking pizza.
Here's your fucking pizza, you piece of shit." And he throws
your jamuki, fucking hurls it in.
He grabs his nuts.
I got your pizza right here.
I got your pizza right here.
Here's your breadstick right here.
Unlimited fucking salad and breadsticks. And anyway, all our little guys get wrapped up here, and
King re-evolves.
Yeah, Gang re-evolves. Spike and Iggy. I don't remember the other guy's name. They've been gone for a little bit, so you're like, where are these guys? Don't worry,
They take over Koopa's company.
Stay after the credits, and you will find out what has happened to those guys. And anyway, so they and we cut to sometime later. Luigi, he misses his girlfriend, but don't worry, because she fucking does a real sequel bait. Kicks in the door and is like holding like a big gun with like ammo strapped around her, and she's like, "Luigi, it's about your kids." We gotta.
If you guys were given the chance to pitch a sequel to this movie, what would it be?
Sequel to this movie. So like. And I want to establish we are working with the pieces that are already here. We are so like Daisy's come in and she's like, "You won't fucking believe what happened."
You better see this shit.
You won't fucking believe. And it's like Alien 3 where like in travel like 3 of them die in between movies, including Lance Henriksen. In the real Aliens riff. I would say I think my pitch for this is pretty simple. We return to Dino Hatton, and it's Giuliani's Dino Hatton, so it's like, it's cleaner, but at what cost? And things seem idyllic. And we open on a stunning day in New York as like the radio is like, another scorcher out here in Dino York, and everyone make sure to wear your hats and your sunscreen. Until on the horizon things start shaking, and you hear the slow beating of drums building and building and building as Donkey Kong and his legion of apes lay siege to Dino Hatton. And the sequel would be about Mario and Donkey Kong's tete-a-tete as they go head to head for the soul of Dino Hatton.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fun. I would do that trope that a lot of kind of like 90s movies have, where like they find a lost family member. And I would do a movie where like the rival, the villain is not Koopa, but it's Wario. Probably at this time I would have probably gone with like a John Goodman as a Wario.
Oh,
or a
God.
Or a Dom DeLuise as a Wario or something.
I just love those coins.
It would have probably been a thing where just like I would have probably done a thing where the Mario brothers are regarded as heroes in Dino New York, and I would have done that dumb 90s movie thing that they did all the time, where like there's two people that look nothing alike in real life, but the movie calls for them to look alike, so they look alike. And I would have done a thing where, like, Dino New York got duped into thinking that Mario was back, and it was actually Wario the whole time.
Oh my god.
And Wario took over the kingdom, and there's that, that thing where just, like, there's an evil twin version of the main character, and Mario goes back, like, Daisy brings Mario and Luigi back to rescue the Dino New York or whatever. But, like, everyone treats Mario like shit again. New York feels like the way it did before Mario saved the place. And, because they all think he's Wario. And there's this big battle at the end between Mario and Wario. Waluigi was not invented yet, because Waluigi did not get invented until Mario Tennis 64, because they realized that Wario needed a doubles partner. So I would have probably done something like that. Also, I don't know if Wario existed at this point yet.
Nah,
he was.
We're fine.
That's very similar to what I was actually going to propose.
Okay, gotcha.
Where
Wario's
essentially,
I'm a big Wario mark.
In the way this movie was more kind of focused on Luigi's arc. The sequel will be more focused on Mario. Mario's Mario's kind of on the rocks with Danielle. Danielle wants him to commit, but he won't. And then Daisy brings it back in to reveal that Iggy and Spike missed their cousin so much. They use the Devo Ray to make a time machine and find the one timeline where there's a good Koopa. That unfortunately has also has Wario, Waluigi, and Peach, who's an evil Daisy.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, that's fun.
And so Mario falls in love with Peach. But she can't remain in this timeline. So they fall in love, but she breaks his heart.
Oh.
And so he goes back, proposes to Daniela, ends with a big old wedding with, Toad playing the, like, Here Comes the Bride on his harmonica. and this film's stinger would be, Mario and Daniela getting back from their honeymoon, and they see a Newsweek paper with the headline, Scapelli wins Democrat primary, Donkey Kong for mayor?
Oh, that's pretty good. Can I add to my pitch? Because I honestly forgot to generate it until you brought it up here on the podcast, and I was like, shit, what's the first thing I can think of? I'm adding to my podcast, or my pitch, that now this would make no sense if the movie had come out in like 1996, but I don't care. We are adding the Mario Odyssey mechanic where Mario can possess objects by throwing his hat on them. So Bob Hoskins, possesses a fire hydrant, and he's like, I'm a fire hydrant, get out of here! He like possesses cars and shit.
Mario's body gets like de-evolved into like slime, and that's what he possesses with.
Yeah, sure. He possesses things in this in my pitch.
If the universe had been kinder to the Mario Brothers movie, one of your guys' sequels would have gotten made, because there are so many ideas attached to those.
Exactly.
Just like this Mario Brothers movie, where there's tons and tons and tons of ideas. This movie's bursting at the seams with ideas. And so mine were just like, uh-oh, there's a double! Like, that probably wouldn't fly.
Well, no. Okay, what if Wario is there, sees Mario, and challenges him to a race across the wastes, to which they have to ride souped-up go-karts.
Oh, shit.
Mad Max Mario.
Cocoa Mountain.
I'd be all over a Mad Mario movie, absolutely.
Mad Mario. Fuck yes, dude. Fury Road. Rainbow Road.
Mad Mario Rainbow Road.
Anyway, let's do some concluding thoughts here. Let's wrap things up. Obviously, the story of this movie is whatever, but I am just so enamored with, and always have been enamored with, the strange imagination of this movie, that they took you know, if there's an A to B with translating Mario to a movie, they went A to Q. And it fucking, it just like, they just took everything and took it in the most bizarre direction. The fucking, I was talking about it at the beginning, but like, if movies are boring today, it's because they're Spider-Man Far From Home, and they're not even about the characters that are in the movie. They're about setting up 9 other movies. Mario Brothers is a fascinating failure with great costume design, awesome fucking set design, bizarre imaginative like sequences and bizarre bits of comedy, and I love all those aspects of this movie. Like we were talking about, basically every actor in it is fucking good and campy, and despite apparently hating every second of their lives, you know, I fucking love Bride of Frankenstein, who is basically like a dark Wilma Flintstone for like 90% of the movie. It's Wilma Flintstone if she mashed with like Halle Berry's character from Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas, some sort of unholy meeting there in the middle. It's not as good as the good movies we've watched on this mini series. It's not as good as the Muppet movie or the Lego movie or Fantastic Mr. Fox, but I finally put together like a letterboxed list of everything that we've watched so far. But like, this is better than, it's not as good as Goosebumps, but this is fucking better than Sonic and Scoob and Artemis Fowl and just like these vacuous soulless, you know, movies directed by special effects supervisors. And it's just I think it's like, it's just, I don't know, I listen, give it another chance. It won't be some new profound experience for most of you. It won't change your life. You won't be like, actually this is some underappreciated masterpiece, but it's a fucking good, interesting movie in a way a lot of movies aren't. And I gotta give it props. It's definitely in the top half of things we have watched for me, and I do not regret sitting down to watch a version that's like 20 minutes longer.
I kind of want to build off that comment you said earlier, Kevin, about how you found this film as like campy in ways that campy. And what I think is so interesting about this movie is that it does kind of harken back to a time where the acting in this is maybe broad, but wasn't campy. But blockbusters now are so detached.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so emotionally toned down. That, like, you know, no one, like, for fuck's sake, Catherine Hahn acting slightly larger than everyone else in WandaVision made her the best part of the whole show.
Yes.
Like, acting what was, at best, maybe 20% less than everyone in this movie.
Exactly. She would not be a standout in this movie.
No,
but
and I do think it's just that kind of blockbusters now have such a profound mutedness and just coldness.
We can't emote. We gotta be mute so that we can wow them with our special effects.
There's no earnestness.
Exactly.
This movie is earnest.
Not realizing that these things go hand in hand.
And also in hand to hand with CGI getting worse now because this working schedule is so tight that no one has the time to polish anything.
And as some visual effects houses are unionizing, companies are choosing to go to the non-union houses, they're
outsourcing even further.
Infinitely worse material. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, but that's part of it. Is that just the increasing as film increasingly industrializes? Man, we lose art, we lose passion, we lose feeling.
We lose weirdness. We lose uncomfortability.
Well, not even weirdness, just humanity.
Yeah.
It's even in a movie where there's a reptilian president, king, or whatever, like, there's still people that, like, Daniela, Mario, Luigi, Daisy, like, they all feel like real people. Koopa even feels like a real person. He just feels like a weird guy. And as you all know, a big fan of weirdos. Love weirdos and love weirdos in cinema. I think that I agree. I'm in total agreement with all what you say. You guys said, like, I love that there's an energy and a humanity to this movie. This movie, I think, and I finally, like, put it into words. I've thought this for a long time, but I've not known how to put it into words until just now. This movie suffers a severe case, a chronic case of Halloween 3 syndrome, where Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is considered the black sheep of the Halloween franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good movie, but no one can see it as a good movie because it's not a Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think that's like this movie. I guess it should be called, instead of Halloween 3 syndrome, it should be called Mario Brothers syndrome. Whereas it's like,
it's called not fitting into a franchise.
Yes, this is a good movie on so many levels. It's just, it is not what we recognize a Mario Brothers movie is or should be, and so it feels like a bad movie to majority of people, and that's not the case. If Halloween 3 came out and it was just called Season of the Witch, that'd be considered a cult classic of 80s films. If this movie was called like Dinotopia. If this movie was called Dinotopia, it'd be a cult classic. Like, if this movie was called anything but Mario Brothers, if the two guys were called Mark and Louie, like, if they just did 1 degree of separation from everything, this would be... And Mario Brothers, the movie, is kind of a cult classic, but this would have an even bigger following than that cult classic Mario Brothers movie would have.
Absolutely.
This movie would be received a lot better. The only fault, well, not the only fault, but one of the biggest faults with this movie is that it's called Mario Brothers.
Right. If this were
this
a
would
Mario...
be like Streets of Fire famous.
Oh my god.
Yes.
And Streets of Fire, just another fucking
or like
excellent
Phantom of the Paradise.
movie. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
If this movie came out today, minus actors who are deceased, if this movie came out today and was like a Mario Brothers fan film, people would lose their fucking minds. People would explode. But because for some reason we want our corporate product to be as bland as possible.
But it's also there's also, as developed currently now, a huge appetite for childish things to be profoundly adult.
Now we make fan films about Power Rangers who kill guys. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this movie, and honestly, just like, I wish that we could have seen just like, I don't know, just like, I wish that, like, wouldn't it have been great if at the last minute Nintendo's like, no, fuck this. And they had to do a last minute rewrite where they changed everything, or like they changed all the characters' names and they got rid of the red and blue boiler suits and like kind of took the handcuffs kind of off of, maybe go back to the original screenplay that Morton and Jankel had or something.
Took the brand cuffs off of it, yeah.
I think the brand, I like that a lot.
Thank you.
I think this movie's reputation and this movie's reception has been spoiled by its name, and it's a huge bummer.
Absolutely.
Because it paved the way for decades of the most bland, most like generic video game adaptations ever, and like those bland adaptations worked their way into comic books, TV, like books, like everything. Like as you guys said, it's all so bland and so like milk toast and white bread now. And they took a franchise and they're like, let's go fucking nuts with this. And because they went so ham, it was to the detriment of their movie
and their careers.
and their career.
But this was fun, and it's one of our longest episodes. But I regret nothing. I had a great time laughing with you chuckle fucks, and the babies say to you in the audience, trust the fungus.
Trust the fungus. Microdose.
Drink lots of water and put out orange slices before you trust the fungus.
Trust the fungus. Remember, where we go one Mario Brother, we go all Mario Brothers. You need to know a lot of fucking references to understand this episode of Movies for Babies.
This one is just for us.
You need to know a lot of Mario trivia. You need to know a lot about the Godfather franchise.
9/11 and QAnon.
Yeah, you need to know a lot about horrible right-wing ideologues. So if you're anywhere in that Venn diagram, congratulations.
Yeah, welcome.
Congratulations, but also we're sorry.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
I don't know. This is the most I've laughed in quarantine, so I'm okay.
Big same.
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah. Anyway.
So...